The last one is a guess, 100%. It's gonna be Hinako or some shit. From the USA. Oh, let's go! Let's fucking go! Alright, now that Bob is announced for Tekken 8, I have an excuse to talk about this character because he's one of my favorite characters in Tekken, one of my favorite fighting game characters as well. And I'm not gonna claim to be a very high level Bob player. I just took him to locals and I was playing him a lot against my friends and I was playing him online, so yeah. I'm just a Bob enjoyer, you know? So a quick overview of Bob is that he's this like really well-rounded character, for lack of a better word. Haha, he's fat. He had good movement, so his backdash was actually pretty juiced. It was crazy, like he would backdash pretty far. If you were fast, he would cover a lot of distance, which was good for him because he was really good in mid-range. And he also had a wave dash. People call this character like the fifth Mishima or some shit, or the fourth or fifth, depending on whether you thought Jin was a bastard or something. But yeah, he had a wave dash. He could wave dash Mixu. He had wave dash Demon Paw. He was really similar to Jin. He had a wave dash Hook Fist, crouch dash Hook Fist rather. Yeah, 95 damage with wall off his Hook Fist. Lang Washer, that's technically the name of this move. It's a really good move. But yeah, he had a lot of ways to mix it with his wave dash. And he had the poking game to back it up. Bob also had really good pokes because a lot of them had extensions. So he had back 2. This is 13 frame mid. And back 2 had an extension, back 2-2, and the full extension was back 2-2-4-4. So you could like choose to stop at any time in this string. So you could do back 2-2-2, back 2-2-4, back. You can do the full string. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but yeah, even though it was high mid, the entire thing didn't jail. So while they could duck the second hit, you can also just do like back 2, and just like keep harassing them with other mids, so like back 2, power crush or some bullshit like that, you know? So he played around a lot with his mental frames because of the string extensions that he had. He had a down forward 1 also. It was a 14 frame down forward 1. And it was -3 on block and +5 on hit. So while it sounds like it's a bit below average, it had 2 extensions to it. It had down forward 1-2, which is natural, and down forward 1-1+2, which was -12, and only natural on counter hit. But the reward on counter hit was that he could also get a free get up 3 after the 1+2, so it did a decent amount of damage. Other strings he had were like down 2-1, I mean, and this string was good because it hit from really far out. Around here? Yeah, so really far out. It was like his equivalent in neutral to like Jin's back 2-1, but he couldn't delay it. But this has an extension, down to 1-2-2. Now the last hit is -21, the third hit is -13. The reason why I'm talking about that shit is because if the third hit connects, the last hit is guaranteed. So you could just do this shit, like that. It's 14 frames also, so it's pretty fast. You could just do that, and if they try to like contest you, you can hit the third hit and get the fourth hit, your full combo or whatever, or wall combo, or even your knockdown if you're just doing it in neutral. And you know, collect your reward, you know? They could actually, there was a 10 frame gap between the third and the fourth hit, despite it saying that -13. So on the third hit, if the opponent blocked it, they could OS with a 10 frame. Those were his main strings mostly. He had other fun strings like back 1+2, which was, depending on who you ask, they would say it was a counter hit confirmable. So this is the back 1+2 string. And this is back 1+2 on counter hit, which is natural. So yeah, that's pretty high reward for a counter hit confirmable string. But again, depending on the Bob player, because some Bob players didn't even practice this shit. I didn't practice this shit. I didn't use this move at all. Another counter hit confirmable move that he had was 1+2. This is actually just a good like counter hit confirm. You can do this shit all the time. It's 1+2, 1+2. So it on counter hit it produced the sparks, which was your tell that you could finish the string. But if it didn't counter hit and you just did the first hit and it was blocked, it was minus 13. But that was okay because you could do this shit. Run away. So you know, if it counter hit, free reward. If it didn't hit, just run away. Let's talk about his jabs. Bob had a lot of jab strings. Like, he could just do the single jab like everyone else. He could do his generic 1-2, minus 3. Minus 3 on block, plus 3 on hit. He also had 1-4, which is one of his 10 frame punishers. It was plus 5 on hit, 22 damage. But if you didn't want the frames and you just wanted damage, you could do 1-1-2. Which is plus 3, but it's unsafe. Minus 12. His 1-1 itself was minus 1, so it was kind of like a Mishima 1-1. He also had jab into lows. 1-3, which was minus 5 on hit, 17 damage. But he also had 1-3-3. They were taking their turn after this. I didn't really like this move. I didn't use it that much. I felt it was too easy. The low parry on reaction was too fast. He also had 1 down 4. You saw this a bit more than the 1-3. Because of the slight pause, you could actually just make people forget about this shit, honestly. Like, you can just do like 1 mid, 1 mid, then maybe do 1 down 4 somewhere at the end of the set. And it was only minus 1 on hit, so you know, I still didn't like it that much, but it was one of his viable jab strings. But one of my favorite jab strings that Bob had was 1-2, 1+2, which is this. It's not natural, and the last hit is a minus 13, and it's a mid. But on counter hit, it was a launcher. The other strength that 1-2, 1+2 had was you could delay it like that. So you could do it like fast, or you could do it with a slight pause. So yeah, it just feeds into like how Bob's pressure really goes. It wasn't like pressure off plus frames or anything. It was pressure more on like, is he gonna finish the string or not? If he finishes the string, maybe I get counter hit if I try to contest here. If he doesn't finish the string, maybe he's gonna like use the mental frames against me. He's gonna sneak in a down back 3 or a down 4. Or maybe another mid, or a hell sweep. So speaking of lows, his glow pokes were good. They're a bit slow. That's sort of the theme with his lows. It's either they're slow or they don't high crush. So he had down 4, which is a decent low. It did like shitty damage. It did serviceable damage. 11 damage, 16 frames, so it was fast, and minus 1. And it didn't high crush, but you know, that's fair, honestly. This is good. I like this low. The main low poke that he had was down back 3, which is like 20 frames. It's like Law's down back 3. It's plus 2 on hit. On counter hit, it has good reward because you get a free steel pedal. But you'll notice that he doesn't actually have a lot in terms of high crushing lows. He has down 3, but it's minus 7 on hit. It has an extension. It has an extension with down 3-4. But they could duck the second hit on reaction. He also had down back 4, but down back 4 was really slow. It was 24 frames. He could almost react to this shit. I think some people were reacting to this shit. And it had an extension, but the extension was like kind of like a meme. This wasn't that good. It was kind of ass. So his only like low pokes were down back 3 and down 4. The other lows he had were risky and more meant to like open people up who were already committed to blocking, like down back 3 plus 4, plus 8 on hit, or hell sweep. Hell sweep. It made him a bit susceptible to magic 4s, which were everywhere in this game, and counter hit 10 frame moves like Fang's back 1, or just fast counter hit highs in general, like Steve back 1 or Noctis upward 1. Despite that, he still had like high evading moves like down back 1+2, which is evasive mid. It was unsafe, minus 13, but it was an evasive mid launcher, so you know, I'm not gonna complain. So one of Bob's other strengths is that he didn't really have a weak side. He was really hard to step. There's a lot of specifics that I can't really get into given the length of this video, but his back 2 and his crouch dash 1 track one direction, and his down forward 1 and forward 2 track the other. So stepping Bob is more of a read on what move he's gonna throw out, other than I should just step left at this timing, you know, compared to like Kazuya. Another thing Bob has is this stance that not a lot of people really use because it's kind of gimmicky, but it exists, and it's this spinner ball. So with forward 3+4, he could roll forward. Back 3+4, he could roll backwards. If he does backwards ball, there's like no follow-up, but if he did normal ball, he could do a safe mid, a ball 1, a homing mid, that's -11, ball 2, a high, that's plus on block, ball 3, or a launching low, ball 4. There weren't a lot of ways to set up ball to be real on block, or even on hit, except for like ball 1+2. There were probably some Oki setups for ball that I just didn't bother labbing, because I didn't really like this move. If I was gonna mix someone up with Bob, I could just like wave dash at them, you know? But yeah, for the party animals, there was always ball. It's pretty funny to see work. Sometimes it actually just works because people freeze up against Bob a lot. Not a lot of people know this matchup. But yeah, ball, really fun. This was like one of his best ways to use ball. It was just if you block his rage drive. It's like, yeah, if you blocked his rage drive, he would be +12 into ball, which is the only time I think you can frame trap with ball 1. And I think if ball 1 is counter hit, it's a launcher. So yeah. His rage drive was pretty ass, not gonna lie, because it was really slow and really linear. But it was used as a combo ender. It's like so if I did a combo, I could end with rage drive into a spike. So the ball 1 there is guaranteed because the rage drive spikes. Oh yeah, and his main counter hit tool in neutral is actually this down forward 2. It didn't launch on normal hit even against standing opponents, but on counter hit, it launched. It was like a Devil Jin's down forward 2. I don't know if Devil Jin's old down forward 2 is in Tekken 8, so I don't think you guys have seen it, but yeah. It was like Devil Jin's down forward 2, where even on standing opponents, it didn't launch, but it was a counter hit launcher. It was pretty good. And this also like went under jabs a lot. He also had an orbital. This shit was kind of whack. I didn't even see it that much because it was really slow. It was 26 frames. If you got hit by this, it was basically like the hardest read of all time. But yeah, people still got hit by it, by the way, so you know. He also had evasive moves like sidestep 1+2. If you know Asuka's sidestep 2, it's kind of like that, but this one's safe. It's -5, and it wall splat on hit. Yeah, wall splatting move. Another thing he had was a backswing blow. So this was actually a really evasive backswing blow, and it was only -12 on block. I can get fucking Bob to block this shit. Yeah, -12 on block. It was pretty good. So yeah, that's just like a basic overview of what Bob does and what he can do. He's a very well-rounded character, again, no pun intended. He can do whatever he wants, he can do whatever you need him to do. He was really fun to mix people with. He had a lot of string extensions. He had wave dash mix, he has evasion. He has good low pokes, kind of slow though. And a lot of safe mids. But I hope he keeps his identity of just being this really well-rounded character that's sort of like a Mishima light. And he's one of my favorite characters in the game, one of my favorite fighting game characters. Really fun character. I recommend anyone to play him. Just don't be fat phobic. Yeah, Bob.